Gotta get my stool. Welcome to another installment. And excuse me if it's a little dark in here. I usually use the natural lighting that shines through the windows. But today, as you guys know, obviously the winter time it gets darker earlier out, so I think it's almost 4, so yeah, sunset should be going on pretty soon here. And I'm trying to take advantage of the little daylight that remains. And today, I wanted to touch on the Week 11, the NFL, yesterday, Monday Night Football. Falcons going to Seattle, taking on a Seattle team that, if they won, they were going to be on top of the NFC West. And I think it was a battle as well on the wild card, the 6th seed, for now, right? For now. And man, it was an exciting game to watch. I don't know if you guys remember last year. It was a pretty big controversy, not huge, right? But it was controversial how that game ended between the Falcons and the Seahawks in Seattle. I think the last play might have been Julio Jones going up for a jump ball against Richard Sherman, and a lot of people thought he got interfered with or held, and I think the Seahawks ended up winning that one. And this time, the Seahawks lose 31-34 at home with a play I did not understand late in the first half, going into the second half. Pete Carroll decides to do whatever the hell Pete Carroll wants to do, right? He tried to fake, I think it was like a 30-something yarder, maybe 40-ish. Can't remember the exact distance, but it was, nonetheless, they faked it. They handed it off, I think, to their second tight end, Wilson. To what, I don't know what was going to happen because, well, actually, I do know what was going to happen. And if you saw, I'm pretty sure you knew what was going to happen as well, which was they had like 10 seconds, 8 to 10 seconds, maybe a little bit less, left in the time. They didn't have any timeouts. And as soon as you saw him handing off, there was no way in hell, no way he was going to score. He wasn't. I think there was the Falcons were well lined up. They sniffed it out right away. Obviously, didn't work out in the Seahawks' favor. But let's say he gets the first down, right? Because it was 4th and whatever. Let's say he gets the first down and not the touchdown. It still would have been a lose-lose situation. So ultimately, I guess you could say that's what cost the Seahawks the game. Because if you look, they also had an opportunity at the end of the game to tie it with Blair Walsh coming up a couple yards short. It was good. I mean, it was right on target, right? It was going through the uprights, but it was too far out, and they ultimately lost 34-31. And now they're a game back in the division, in the NFC West. And I think the Falcons stay on pace. I think they're in 3rd. I think Saints are 1st. Carolina is 2nd in the NFC South. But that 6th wildcard seed, the last wildcard seed, is still up for grabs. I mean, both wildcard spots are still up for grabs. The NFC is just a mess. A lot of teams are 5-5, 4-5, who still have an opportunity. Some 6-4s. Excuse me. But yes, now let's move on to my beloved Packers. Cue the sad music. 0 points. Goose egg. I can't remember the last time anybody was shut out. 0 points at home. Wow. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot to talk about, I think. Let's touch a little bit about Brett Hundley. I think he's a solid quarterback at times, right? He'll make these throws, you're like, okay, fine, give him another chance. And then he'll make throws or just be really indecisive. His pocket awareness is just not there, right? He'll sense a little bit of pressure, and then he's just tucks his chin. Obviously, the eyes come in, like he doesn't survey the down the field, and that's where he takes a sack or just loses the ball. So I mean, this is obviously proven that I don't think Brett Hundley is capable to lead a franchise if the if the Packers were to trade him. I don't think, now that he's gotten a lot more exposure and teams have tape, I don't think they would get much out of him. He still gives them a shot to win though. It's so bizarre because you look at him in one game, he's like, okay, he's okay, right? He can win 2-3 games. And then you look at him, you're like, this guy can't start in the league. So he's a very inconsistent roller coaster ride. That at this point, a lot of people calling for the Colin Kaepernick, right? Oh, the Packers should have gotten Colin Kaepernick. It's so late in the season. You're going to bring in Colin Kaepernick or any new quarterback, and what are you going to do? Have them learn the system or kind of get timing with the wide receivers and all that? I think it's just ride it out. As Brett Hundley said, ride the wave, right? And sure as hell it's been a damn big wave, and then it's just gone ashore and hit hard. So yeah, 0 points, not looking good. They're going to Pittsburgh. Yay. But see, not just being a fanboy, Pittsburgh's had their struggles, right? Pittsburgh is also a roller coaster. Losing, or almost losing to Chicago, or they might have lost that. Can't remember, so early in the season. Almost losing at Indianapolis. And then they looked great last week, scoring 40 points. It's the NFL, what can I say? It's pretty unpredictable. The only two teams that are really unpredictable, you know what they're going to do and that they're going to play well this year, the Patriots and the Eagles. The Patriots have done that for years, right? Well over a decade. Now, moving on to the AFC, of course, let's stay with the Patriots. They traveled to Mexico City in the altitude against the Raiders, and they took care of business. I think that defense is back, allowing, I think it's like 12 or something, 12, 13, 14-ish points over the past couple weeks. So that defense is definitely back in time to help Tom Brady, right? They're obviously always a favorite to win the AFC. It's not even a question whether winning the AFC East, right? That's a given. So yeah, the Patriots are back. That defense is finally looking good under, what the hell's his name? Something Patricia. Danica Patrick? No, I forgot her name, or his name. Excuse me. Patriots defense is looking good. The AFC, there's not a lot to talk about. I think it's the equivalent to what the Eastern Conference was in the NBA a couple years ago, where it's just like the Cavs and whoever rotated. It's like the Cavs and the Bulls for a few years, and then the Cavs and now it seems the Celtics. But I think a few teams are getting back in the mix. And that's what the AFC is, right? It's Pittsburgh and, of course, New England, and then the other teams just kind of rotate in and out. And it's going to be Pittsburgh and New England in the AFC Championship. At least that's how it should play out, right? On the NFC side of things, as much as I hate to say it, we're bringing it back to the NFC North. The Vikings. I thought this was going to be... When Aaron Rodgers went down, I was like, okay, the Vikings have some pretty tough games. The Rams, I was like, okay, that's going to be a really, really tough game. They're going to come out and hopefully, as a diehard Packer fan, obliterate the Vikings, and that did not happen. For some reason, Case Keenum looks, dare I say, good, like a good quarterback. So yeah, the Vikings took care of business against a really good team in the did I say St. Louis? Los Angeles Rams. And they look good. But again, I mean, you could be up here and then 1 second you can just kind of free fall. What happened to the Chiefs, right? Losing to the Giants after starting off hot. I think they're definitely on a losing streak. I don't know of how many, but the Chiefs are one of those teams that was starting up here. Everybody's like, Alex Smith is the MVP. Yup, he's running away. Chiefs are looking great. It's going to be Chiefs and Patriots in the AFC. And then after that Pittsburgh loss at home, things just went south. Did I miss anything else in the NFL? Packers, Patriots, Raiders, who have been, oh man. Everybody was so high. I was so high on the Raiders this year. I was like, Derek Carr is going to come out and ball. They have a solid offense, addition to Marshawn Lynch, Khalil Mack, defense looking decent. And no, Raiders have been a huge letdown. But I think that division's still up for grabs, right? With the Chiefs falling. Chargers are emerging. Chargers is going to be a good team to... If they can squeak into the playoffs, I think they can make some... I don't think a lot of teams will want to face the Chargers, that's for sure. What else did I miss? Bears losing on a late field goal, of course. Only the Bears do that, and it wasn't even close. I think they waived that kicker and just signed a new one. But man, the NFL is fun, and this is it, right? One more month left. Well, December and a little bit of November. Yeah, this is going to be my last video. Jesus, not retiring. This week for Thanksgiving. I said it in the previous video. Happy holidays, guys. Hope you guys have an awesome time with family, friends, loved ones. Eat a ton of great food. Let me know what you guys do eat. I would love to hear in the comment section. And let me know what you guys thought about Week 11. Are there real favorites? Or are these two teams really the favorites, meaning the Patriots and the Eagles? And before I wrap this up, I didn't touch on the Eagles and Cowboys. Let's touch that on that really quickly. Cowboys without Ezekiel Elliott are one-dimensional, of course, and everybody would have guessed, but I thought Alfred Morris played well. I think he was, that line gave him some holes, and I think he was hitting them. I think Dak was a little, after that first pick, he was a little, gun shy, and then second pick had, I think he had 3. Second, and then a late one, the third one. So yeah, Cowboy fans, it's not looking good. It's really not looking good, especially without Zeke. Eagle fans, Carson Wentz, the dude is the real deal. I think him and Tom Brady are leading the MVP race in my book. I think Carson Wentz is playing outstanding. That defense looks good. And they still have, that division's basically wrapped up, right? Yeah, they're like 4 games clear. So yeah, Eagles are going to be tough to beat in the playoffs, that's for sure. So yeah, that's going to be it, guys. Hope you guys have an awesome holidays. And yeah, let me know what you guys eat and how you guys spent your holidays, and eat a ton of good food, and let me know in the comments what you guys thought of Week 11. Hope you guys have an awesome day, guys. Take care. Much love.